right? Which has a good chance of winning the Griffey, but then
Yeah.
is immediately in Class 2,
Yeah.
immediately is up against everybody in Class 2,
Yeah.
and you really got to be lucky there to have any kind of success.
Yeah.
Whereas you could put in, instead of the Z2, maybe a Z10, and you start off in more of the Class 3, Class 4 range, a little bit
Yeah.
easier competition, and that might make all the difference, even if the horse is worse.
Yeah, exactly. It's about playing the classes as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, whoever's tuning in just yet. We're live with Joe from Zombie Racing and Lucky Jack. And we're just going to do a quick rundown on the Zed tournament that was just announced. Later on tonight, the Zed News Network will be doing another episode just covering all things Zed. And so, how are you two doing tonight?
Gucci.
Yeah, good one. Yeah.
Gucci. And so, since we have Zombie, who is the king of tournaments in Zed so far, um, what's your interpretation of the rule set for the Zed tournament?
Yeah, so they've literally just released a rule change, haven't they? Have you guys seen it?
I have not seen the rule
No.
change.
So basically, the rule change. I'll get it up. I'll read it out. The announcement in the Z Discord. With Zed.Run's inaugural qualifiers launching this Friday, we're implementing a few minor upgrades after some community feedback. The place rate of your horses will be calculated from all races across all funnels. Previously, place rate was calculated from just the races running that distance funnel. Racehorses will still need to run at least 30 races, and they will only rank on the leaderboard for the races they raced for their funnel they've raced in the most. But yeah, I think that's a. When I first saw the initial announcement, I thought it's just going to be full of declassing and a lot of race management that we've seen in a lot of other tournaments. But that's a good change in my opinion. But yeah, we can go through the whole tournament overall as well because there's a lot of other parts to it, isn't there?
I'll
But,
tell you what, that makes me happy as a stable, because as someone looking to enter the tournament and make sure you get your 15 races in, it's going to be a much easier feat when it's applicable to any distance. That helps me as a stable owner be eligible to be into the race with more horses.
no, I think it's still for that distance category. So you've got to have at least 30 in that funnel.
Oh, so it is by distance.
Yeah, it's still by distance. But if you race in a different funnel, your place rate is still total for both sides. So if you're down classing at one distance and obviously up classing at the other, then they affect each other now, which I think is a positive change.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm getting is um, every race that you run will count once you qualify.
Yeah,
And so that's how I was thinking of. Uh, we got the maiden tournament coming up, and I feel like the Digital Breeders' Cup is like the child of the Maidens Cup. And so the way I was thinking of running the rules was it's always your last 10 races. So that would count toward your point score. So you can run as many races as you want, but it's your last 10 races over the course of that 2 days. That way, if you try to down class, you're going to get punished for it.
Yeah, that's an
yeah,
interesting idea. I don't think any tournament has really dealt with a point scoring kind of a system like that. I think that's dynamic.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to think it through now in my head. Like, what would the tactics be? Um, yeah, it sounds good, man. It sounds good. Yeah, do you think people would down class initially at first, and then get down to like class 5, and then when the last 10 is the back end going back up the classes?
Well, specifically for the Breeders' Cup, you're only allowed to run 10 races. So you're not really going to know that, like, your horse can't have more than 10 races, no matter if it's a legendary, an exclusive, or an elite or lower. So you're not really going to know. It's going to be into like
Yeah,
day 4 and day 5, or day 5, day 6, when you're starting to actually learn the horse's capabilities, when you can learn, oh, this might be a down class button, but I still have to hit the up class button anyway.
yeah, that's good, man. Do you want to go through the whole tournament from Zed?
Yes, please. Should I'll bring it up. Give me 1 second. It's gonna. Let me close this screen. I'm getting a bus a truck thing. And Zuka bus is a van if you're watching or listening at a later point in time. It's a big van. It's used for transporting people. All right.
So everybody missed this because we were talking about it before we went live, but I just want to say again for the record, what does the guy got to do to get a rainbow zombie token? Because those things are sexy and the utility is just, it's such a cool idea. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to get them minted, haven't we? That's the.
I did another run, so I minted like 4 or 5 initially.
Yeah.
And then I missed a lot of the tournaments, and I was like, well, I still want to get a rainbow one, so I went through and I did another batch, and I did another like 4, but I didn't get a rainbow. So I'll probably go back again. But
Nice. I think we've only had we've had one rainbow knacker so far, and that was someone won that the other day. That was pretty mad.
I saw that. I was trying desperately to get into that giveaway, but I was too late, so I didn't know how to get in. I was just wishing.
All right. So 3 days ago, which was last Friday, Zed released a tournaments are coming to Zed.Run, and so they also said a weekly AMA. I'm trying to find the. Oh, here's the link to the actual tournaments. So give me 1 second. Wham. Page not found. Didn't I just copy and paste it?
I think they might have updated it with the new. Oh, you're doing both URLs there.
Well, there's 2. Whoops. You are correct, Zombie. Good eyes.
Yeah, I'll be right back in a minute.
My eyes, I'm old. I always say that. All right. So it says, important notice: the place rate of your racehorse will be calculated from all races across all distance funnels. Previously, place rate was only calculated from the races run in the distance funnel. Blog has been updated to reflect those changes, which is basically what you were talking about a little bit earlier. And so we know tournaments are coming. The best part is it's absolutely free with over 300,000 US dollars to be won. In-depth look, refer to the Zed.Run tournament guide. All right, so we know it's this Friday. It's going to kick off with the first tournament. It's open to all racehorses. Anybody had the chance, whether it's a donkey or not a donkey or a good placer. Each racehorse must compete in a minimum of 30 races across a 2 week qualifying period. So you're basically going to have 30 days to run, and these 30 races must correspond to a distance funnel. Um, for sprinters, it's 1,000, 1,200, and 1,400 meters. For mid distance, it's 1,600, 1,800, and 2,000 meters. And for long distance, it's 22, 24, and 2,600. All racing events and event types will count toward qualification for the tournament. Free races will no longer have a prize pool, but will count towards tournament qualification. The prize pools previously available from free races will now go to the tournament prize pools. All right, so what it said, the distance funnel is as you're qualifying for races, you're going to have to race in either 1,000, 1,200, or 14, 16, 18, or 1,200, or 22, 24, and 2,600 meters. I don't think this will address the issue of people downclassing if all you have to race is toward this funnel. But you did say there was an update from all.
Yeah. So basically, now if you're doing you've got to basically accumulate 30 races in one of the funnels to qualify and be part of the leaderboard. But now, if you have, say, 30 races at the marathoner, getting your place rate dead high, but then you're doing a few down classes in the sprinters, those down classes now are incorporated into your 30 races, and your place rate is affected by essentially down classing.
Okay. And so it does say at the end of the qualifying period, the top 576 racehorses, as decided by their place rate, percentages of finishes in top 3 will be entered into the quarterfinals. split evenly across the 3 distance funnel categories. A race.
That's
Go ahead.
that's 192 horses per category. So if you can finish in the top 192 for your segment, then you qualify for the quarterfinals.
Okay. Uh, so yes, a lot of racing is going to be happening within the next 2 weeks after this Friday. It says racehorses will rank in the distance category they have raced most in, and the order is still determined by place rate across all races. This ensures fair races, eliminates racehorses purposely declassing to more easily qualify. For example, if a racehorse runs 33 races in the sprinter category and 31 races in the mid-rate runner category, they will only see their rank on the sprinter category since they have run more races there. Each racehorse that qualifies will automatically be entered into the quarterfinals and the following rounds if it progresses. From the quarterfinals onwards, the top racehorses will automatically progress to the semifinals and ultimately the grand finale. In the grand final, 12 racehorses will compete at 6 different distances in a round robin format where the winner will be crowned the inaugural tournament champion and take home the prize. Somebody needs to learn to type. Take home the prize of a guaranteed $40,000 US in US.
Lucky Jack joined.
Hold on, Lucky Jack came back. Show on stream. Oops. Yeah, there you go.
What's up?
The lucky horseshoe.
And,
Plus 15 to luck.
the first run tournament will run over a 2-day period at the specified times below. October 15th to the 30th, 12 a.m. I don't know if it says UTC. Is that Eastern time or is that your time, like British
That's
time?
my time. Yeah, British time now.
So 12 hours British time, 12 a.m. British time to 4 p.m. British time on October 30th. It will start and end for the quarterfinals. So that means
Lads, you've got to be really active, haven't you, if you make the quarterfinals?
well, it's just 30 races. I think a lot of people could get 30 races done within that time frame.
Yeah, no, I mean for the quarterfinals. Does it say how many races you've got to do in the quarterfinals?
Oh, the quarterfinals, woof, October 30th is the start time and it ends October 30th at 4 p.m. That's only 4 hours.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what's going to go on with the quarterfinals. The semifinals is still saying October 30th, 6 to 9. And then the finals are 8 to 8:30. And then,
Yeah, they've got to be wrong, haven't they?
Yeah, that can't be right. That means you're going to have to be on Zed all day. And then the grand final, October 31st, 10 to 10:30. So maybe they're going to send people emails to determine these races here. Because it's supposed to be what? I think it might be a head up or something.
Yo,
Yeah,
they
I
should
think
give out a
the
Halloween
buckets.
skin to whoever wins the tournament because it's gonna be
Yeah.
Oh,
They
I'll tell
really
you what.
should. That'd be such a good way to do your first tournament is have like a special prize like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, 40,000
imagine
is not to sneeze at.
Imagine it's a zombie skin.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be perfect for you.
Yeah, I need to win this thing.
So that means Zombie Boy is coming out of retirement.
Yeah, everyone's having a stab at this, I think.
What's his distance? Is 2,400 meter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
You're just getting ready to snipe him with all your horses.
And so that's a lot of races in between this day is going to be hectic on Zed. So if you're preparing for the tournament, unless they come with new rules and they're doing everything on October 30th, from noon British time to 4 p.m. is going to be the quarterfinals in its entirety. So that's 4 hours. And if you're on the East Coast of the United States, I believe, Zombie, what time is it over there?
1 a.m.
1
But it's
and
we're summertime, so it's actually 12. It's 12 now. UTC,
okay,
which is the time zone for the tournament.
And so that's going to be 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time on the 30th.
Yeah, that's when you've got to get started.
Yes, so you're going to have to be up and going if you make it to the
I
quarterfinals.
thought there was some debate as to whether or not it was automatically generated, as if your horses were automatically picked up and put into a quarterfinal races. I was under the impression that's what was happening.
Oh, so then you're not going to be controlling your horse?
I don't think it's an active process.
No.
Okay.
It's all automatic, from what I understand.
Okay, so Zed's going to be racing your horses then?
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if there's any issues with like fatigue or anything. So how is it just the format of that part isn't really well described, I don't think. So there's 576 participants, 48 races. So that means that only one of the 12 go through. So you're basically pitted against your 12 other horses that you're in against, and the winner goes through. So it's just winner takes all. 1 out of 12 passes through each round.
Okay, so
that is savage, isn't it? Yeah, after doing 2 weeks of placing to then go straight to a
cutthroat. Yeah,
that's wild. I like it though.
Yeah.
And so if Zed's racing your horses, then this is cool. Maybe they might turn off fatigue and let them run, or maybe they'll keep it on and like it just like I remember I think the Pony Plug ran a tournament a couple of weeks ago where people were just running and running and running and running, and their horses were like dead. And if it was real life, somebody would call PETA on us. So it says you shouldn't. We will be able to see the rankings and all that stuff, the leaderboard during this time period. So it sounds cool. So if you make it to the quarterfinals, you will receive $3,000. It does say 48 races, and then in the semifinals, it's another 6,000. I don't think it's going to pile on though.
Do you want me to run the maths on it?
What was that?
I'll run the maths on it now.
Okay,
go.
Quick
gets
maths.
to 300.
Okay, and then if you make it to the semifinals, your prize pool will be 6,000. Make it to the finals, 20,000, and then the winner can take home 40,000. So did that all equal 300,000? Or is the person going to get the winner going to get $69,000? Great number. Nice in chat if you're there. And it says tournaments in Zed.Run will be continued to be funded by the prize pool accumulated across the breeding ecosystem. As such, the prize pool is previously available will now go toward tournaments.
So that totals $316,000. So you'd assume it's additive. So if you make it through the quarterfinals, you get 3,000, and then if you make it to the semifinals, you get an extra 6,000.
Okay.
So the winner will get 69,000, which is an unusual number to pick, but
it's a great number.
I love it. That's funny.
Nice is in chat for whoever wins. They're gonna get $69,000. Okay, so it says, does this mean free racing is going away though, completely?
No, so they're just taking away the prize pool for free races.
Okay.
They will still be going on, but it'll essentially be, free entry tickets to races.
Okay, so it's a couple weeks ago. We, I believe, first it was something that, Crimson Chin was saying that you should be able to basically practice run your horse, and so and then Centribo's kind of expanded on the idea of saying like maybe we should just have free racing without losing or gaining anything. So maybe that's what free racing will become, like practice mode, I guess.
Yeah, be interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, it would also be interesting to see what some of the big horses do in terms of tactics. So obviously, it's over 30 races, so you've got to guarantee your top 3 places. do you think people will dip down into the free races to get that easy competition? Because that's what we've seen with the $250 races, isn't it?
I think absolutely 100%, like 1,000%. People are going to be all over free races. Anybody who can get in, if you're quick enough to click through. Like, I personally don't seem to be quick enough to click through it.
No,
but, like,
I'm not.
Once in a while, I'll get one. But yeah, people are going to be like vultures, and you can't blame them. That's just that's the way the pieces are set right now. You got to play them the way they're set. So
yeah, it will be interesting because it'll be interesting what happens to the actual paid racing system. Because if you've got horses like, for instance, for pure example, Princess of Power goes into free races to guarantee makes its way through to the finals essentially, but then it makes no sense to also race in the high dollar races and potentially affects your leaderboard ranking. So
yeah,
we might actually see an ease up in the the power rankings of each of the classes, and it might actually make more sense to just hit the track normally. Who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what people decide.
Well, that's if they're going to run a tournament every single month. Then yeah. But if they're not running a tournament and it's just free racing to free race, then I don't see like LBJ Keith from Arbitrage bringing Princess of Power into the free races, because it's just not going to be. It's not going to be within his profit margin.
I mean, I personally like this right now. As somebody who's been here for like 3 years, you always want to be the hero in one way or another, for the community or for new people coming into the game, or be one of the top stables. But this tournament, like, this is their first official tournament. This is a historic moment. I mean, like, we've thrown crazy tournaments for sure, and they're good. But for them to throw their first tournament, somebody's going to win. And I think that's worth more than racing in those top dollar races and getting a good ROI. Those $50, $100. I would rather sacrifice that, enter the free races, and have your name of the horse be the winner of that tournament. I think that's well worth it.
Yeah,
100%. If I had the option now of Zombie Boy never racing again but winning the tournament, I mean, it's an easy decision. It's the first ever Zed.Run tournament, isn't it? I mean, that just goes down in infamy, really.
Yeah. Well, to me, the first Zed.Run tournament was the Board 8. The Board 8 tournament. And it was something that we threw. That's what got everybody actually anticipating tournament. This is the first official Zed tournament. And so, real fast, to you two, since you own some powerful horses, who do you think's going to win it? Like, is it going to be like Ducky Mallon, Zombie Boy, Mula Mula, Charlie Chevelle? Is it going to be one of those? Steph Curry, event? What legend will be made?
It's really hard to decide. It's going to be, because of the different formats, getting through is going to be really easy for terms of engagement and horses like that. Actually placing for the whole time, it's going to be really easy. But as soon as you hit the quarterfinal stage, you have to win. So then that's when the high power horses come out. And then I think reaching the grand final is going to be epic if you manage to get there. Mm-hmm. But then the actual grand final, you're going to need a horse like Terms again. You're going to need that flat, can race at any distance kind of horse. And I think we'll definitely see like not definitely, but Princess of Power type horses, the really heavy distance preference. They'll make it to the grand final, but they won't win the grand final, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because they've got to race at every single distance.
So odds-on favorite is Terms of Engagement, is what you're saying, or Breathless Edge?
I think it'll be a Class 5 or a Class 4 horse, because I think that's where you get, if you play your cards right and you do everything to the smartest way you can do it, you want to go up against the weakest competition, and that's going to be in a Class 5 or that's going to be in a Class 4. So once you're talking about this phenomenal horse and this phenomenal horse, the only thing left is what's the competition, because they're already so good. The only discrepancy is who's the competition. So I think it's going to be a Class 5 or a Class 4 horse. Hopefully somebody from Lucky Jacks. We'll see.
Well, Heroin, I see you in the chat. You can still join in if you want to. But I don't know. I think honestly, I think if Poseidon and his brother decide to enter Breathless Edge, I I think he might have a shot because I looked at his speed data with the other day, and the horse is in the top 5% in speed in every single distance. There is no down class. Okay, he's driving. I don't know though. It might be a horse like that. If you got to run every distance, you got to run the gauntlet.
Yeah,
I think the only thing with Breathless Edge is it's not been on the track for a while. It's obviously top tier quality, but it's not been on the track.
Old news.
Yeah.
No, you're not saying that about Breathless Edge.
I mean, I think who am I trying to think of now? Who's the new horse that's like 18 or 2,000 meters? Who's absolutely unbelievable? Is that Miss Universe? I'd love to see. So we're not seeing actually Breathless Edge compete against the new legendary, top tier races. So I'm excited for that, just because I think Breathless Edge will come out for the tournament. I think it'd be silly not to.
I will say for Flames, like it is a more adventurous experience of like if that showdown goes down and you aren't really sure who the better horse is. In the past, one race you would know because of the odds. You would know who numerically is the better horse. But I think the fact that you have to watch things get played out over time, I think it's a much more enjoyable way to experience these kinds of heads ups.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not over with one race, because at one race, at one distance, one odds, you know who's better. Whereas if you've got you have to do 10 races, and it becomes more of a battle than more of a war than a battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That is true because the horse hasn't been on the track in a while. But the reason I say is because when we did have like a lot of your horse, like Zombie Boy, he still runs it with Flames with the best of the best now. And so those horses that were running before, like for instance, I used to watch Pony Plug a lot, right? And do you remember when Zook used to talk shit to Doofy about Ducky, and then Zook would jump in a race, and then Ducky would all of a sudden Doofy's not on stream, and he'd throw Ducky in a race just to kick Zook's ass real fast. These horses are still good. Like,
I think
on the track, okay.
I think the winner's going to be from the middle funnel. I don't think we'll see one of the high distance reference horses winning.
So then you're going with Ducky then, because she's 1,400.
I'm going with Big and Tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your horse though, right?
Yeah.
Very good horse too. So so we're gonna. How good would it be if it's like an average horse that wins it? Like a horse that doesn't win a lot but places a lot?
I see, and that's the thing is I root for those horses, but I don't think they can survive the final round because the winning horse of any tournament is going to be the horse that manages to win like basically back to back to back to back or as close as possible. Mm-hmm. And so placing, just even if you get second, third, second, it just doesn't get you there.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you hit the quarterfinal, the knockouts, it's all about winning. So it is going to be the heavy hitters.
Hold on though, because if I always place second and you place, if I have a higher place percentage, not a win percentage, than your horse. Like right now, I have a horse that's like a 35% placer, but like a 2% winner. Not saying this horse is gonna even come close to winning this tournament because it's all the way down in Class 2 and it belongs in like Class 4. But a horse like that, if you're not always, say you're like a 15% winner but only like a 20% placer, I'd like my shots at placing on the podium and you get the pity point.
Yeah, but that's true if you're talking about being up against that one horse. But when you're in a tournament, you're up against 50 other horses, and 2 or 3 of them are going to hit back to back to back.
That's true.
Yeah, that is how it's going to play out. I think I'm excited for it. I'll be interested to see what kind of coverage we get in terms of the tournament.
Yes, we do know Zed has been gearing up their production, so I'm also interested in seeing how it goes.
See, now I feel like this tournament is a little bit sudden. Like as somebody who's been here for a long time, I've been waiting for their first tournament, waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought there'd be like maybe 6 months in between their announcement and then when the tournament is, ample time to really like build up the hype. And it was like, no, it's in like 15 days.
Yeah.
It's just like, boom. I'm not sure what to make of that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not even 15 days. They announced this on the 9th. They announced the tournament on the 9th. It's the 11th, and we're running up. It was 7 days prep time.
So, yeah. I mean,
and also I thought their first tournament was going to be the Atari tournament.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the reason we haven't had anything from Zed is because they're gearing up to the Atari tournament,
the big one.
And
yeah,
that was that announced in January?
Yes.
Yeah, be interesting. We've got the AMA, so I think that'll be an interesting.
When is that?
I think is it Wednesday?
I'll go back.
Weekly AMA. The questions with the most reactions at the end of the day, Wednesday, will be answered as best we can. So it'll be on Thursday or Friday, I'm assuming.
Okay. The end of the day, Wednesday. So it's probably going to be Wednesday. It's Australian Eastern time, so that might be tomorrow.
No. They'll prep answers. I'm sure they'll prep answers.
Oh man.
They'll get the questions and then prepare a response, I reckon.
And it's only 15 minutes. Jesus.
Yeah, you're gonna get through like 2 questions in 15 minutes. If you actually really answer them, it's like 2 questions.
And it said it's in Discord. Come on, Dad, put it on your channel for once. Yeah. Oh wait up, I do remember last time they tried to live stream. Not a shot. But yeah, but it said the questions with the most reactions at the end of the day, Wednesday, Australian Eastern time, will be answered as best as we can. But it's only 15 minutes, so bravo. Yeah. I'm going to say bravo for they're going to say nothing without saying anything.
It's a step in the right direction, though. I think,
yes,
there was a good 3 months maybe of like zero communication, so it's it is going in the right direction. And I think they realize 15 minutes isn't long enough, really. So
yes. Well, I'm not. Once again, I am banned from Zed General, so I don't.
Are you?
Yeah, I got.
Oh, I didn't know.
I got banned during right after the terror drop, because the story is that I got a bunch of my coworkers to buy some cryptocurrency to come in on Zed, and me getting in on the terror drop. We were all on wave 3 and 4. About 10 or 15 people. None of us got a horse, and so my coworkers were ready to kick my ass. Well, you lose some money with gas transactions, so
yeah.
And so they all pulled their money out immediately, and I ended up paying their gas prices so that I didn't get my ass kicked. So I was bitching in Zed General. I got booted because I wanted answers.
So like after having an experience like that,
mm-hmm.
Now here we are talking to you. You're one of the most active content creators. How do you go from that guy who just got like basically completely disrespected because their drop was a total failure
mm-hmm.
to now being, a big believer? Like, that seems interesting to me.
Well, I was a big believer from the gate. That's how I was able to talk my coworkers into trying to get a ETH. What I'm gonna say is I believe that I watched a live stream from Mint Condition. I think Jay was on there, and he completely he he had me drink the Kool-Aid because everything he said about the vision of Zed and where it's going and what they want to do, like I'm a firm believer in that. I think that the vision of Zed are the white paper, for lack of a better term, because we don't. I've never actually seen a Zed white paper, but it was really Jay. Shout out to Jay if he's watching, but it was really Jay who sold me completely on the idea of the metaverse and what Zed can be. And I see them making steps in that direction. You know, it's going to be complaints with any game. People are always going to have complaints. You're not going to be able to satisfy anybody. But if we could get to that vision of two guys, three guys in a bar, like we go out to a bar, to a family reunion, a picnic, or or a barbecue or something, and not everybody we know knows about Zed, and we can onboard them on the spot and just have a day of racing. And it costs like maybe 60 or $70 for them to get a horse, and then they race for like another 40, win some, lose some, but have fun doing it. I believe Zed can get there, and they're almost there. People are mad about the prices of horses at the moment, but it's kind of the vision.
Yeah, I mean, we are. Yeah, it's just about being patient, isn't it? I mean, we've been preached patience for months now, so it's good to see tournaments come in. I think the announcement today was good about like essentially anti-sandbagging, because that is them taking a stance on it not being the future of their game, basically, which I liked personally. And yeah, we're getting closer to that point of incentivizing racing up, which I think is needed in the game. But like you were saying, then it's impossible to please everyone in the same breath. There's going to be people who are like anti these changes. So
yeah. I know, because I speak to a lot of people, and I always have different ideas, because my strongest part of game development is design, and so I always talk to people about different ideas on how to improve Zed. Not that I'm like a great dude or anything, and it's always like, no, well, what about this, or what about that, or what about this? If you're saying this, and I'm like, well, I was just trying to come up with a solution, bro. We're complaining about little small things of the gameplay, and as a community, we can't agree on things. We can't agree on the how to do something better or to give us more, because the overall complaint with that is we just want more. If you think about it. Like, they're in a great position because everybody wants more of what they already have. So that's how I can. That also answers Lucky Jack's question. Is once you get into Zed and start racing, it's very addicting.
yeah, it's just important to nurture that new experience, isn't it? To not be getting smashed in $2 races by LBJ Go.
Well, that's how I started off, bro. Like, I had a terrible horse for my first horse, and I kept running against main event and Steph Curry down in Class 5 and was pissed. And was so happy when the hidden gem guys stopped running Steph Curry in $2 and $5 race. He said he's only running in $10. That's it. $10 and up. So that saved us. I wish some of the other guys would stop doing that. Leave $2.50 to the little guys, or leave $5 to the little guys. But
yeah. So yeah, is there anything else you wanted to talk about with the tournaments specifically?
All right. No, there's just one question from Jamoish. He said, which type of horse did you guys say was the type to win the competition? The best horse that has D-class the most, or the one that wins C1 races that were able to D-class?
I was team dope horse in a low class. That was basically my pitch.
Here goes my response to that. Pony Plug's second tournament. Tournament 2. I had a good horse, good average horse by the name of Our Lady Carol. I made it to day 3 with maybe 2 first place finishes, but classed all the way up to class 3, where the horse didn't belong. Day 3, I couldn't get out. Couldn't get out because I didn't believe in down classing. I didn't even know how to down class honestly at the time, and so it was wham. That was it. And so that good horse in class 5 is going to make it to class 3 by the time the tournament's over, and it's not going to be able to compete. That's my only rebuttal to that. Unless you have a class 5 horse with a guaranteed down button, or excuse me, a class 1 horse with a guaranteed down button, like let's say Souls Vanish is in the chat, Mula Mula. 1600, it could down.
That's 2 fools?
Yeah.
Souls Vanish.
Yeah.
Yo, what's good? I'll see you tomorrow on the court.
Mula Mula could down class all the way to class 5 just running 1600s. Now,
hey, Souls Vanish, you need to have 2 Griffies ready just in case. I'm flipping the script, baby.
I'm getting your strategy earlier. and so yeah, if you could down class one of these top runners all the way to class 5 and then run it all the way through the tournament, then I think that would be a great strategy because you can run from class 5 to class 1. Or something like Steph Curry might have a good shot if he runs 2400 and he's already in class 5. He was class 4 a couple of days ago. I accidentally ran into him again in a $10 race. And so, if you have a horse that's able to compete in class 1 and you know it can compete in class 1 and it's already in class 4 or class 5, I would say put him in class 5 and then when the tournament starts to just let him finish how he finishes to get all the way up in those 30 races. Because you can't hit the down button. Because if you do it goes towards your points.
Yeah, it's a good point.
But Zombie Boys is capable of running in class 1 and finishing high. So he could just stay in class 1 and just jump in those $2 races or the free races.
Free races. I think that's what we'll see. I think we'll see a good mixture in the finals purely because of the free races.
But what if everybody's doing it? Like, say you jump in a free race and like Mula Mula and Charlie Chevelle, Rendezvous Peak are in that race.
Wow, I mean,
it's sitting first place.
You'll be trying to jump in free races at the end of free races. You have to be like,
you can't
into the system. Yeah. No, I think my opinion on it is a mid-distance. Because I think we can look at it different ways. I think there'll be a lot of class 4, class 5 long distance specialists reaching the finals. I think there'll be a lot of sprinters in the same ilk. And then when you hit the mid distance, I think that's where we'll see more of a class 1 skew. And then as we move on to the finals, the knockout section, I think that's where we'll also see the class 1 horses really come out on top.
Yes.
And then obviously the grand final is going to be interesting as well, having to race everyone at different distances, and then because 1600-meter horses are naturally flatter across all distances, I think they'll have the edge there as well. So yeah, my pick for the tournament is Big and Tall.
Big and Tall. I
like that analysis.
I think Ducky Mallon's probably. I think Doofy's probably reveling after seeing these changes.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else. Who's like
the horse that would fit in my stable would be Team Lucky, which is like a really strong class 1 1600-meter horse. Can do the sprints too. Back when odds were around, would get like a 10 in a class 1 race, which is under 12, so I'll take it. But I think that'd probably be my best shot then, based on that analysis.
I also think my dark horse is going to be Terms of Engagement. That's going to be my dark horse because the horse has never finished 12.
Oh,
yeah,
true. Did you not see the other day?
Huh?
I finally did it. 670 races, something ridiculous.
No. Wow.
I saw there was like a RIP to terms post on Twitter.
Breaking news! Wow, I didn't even see that. So yeah, that's my dark horse though. 697 and 112th place finish. That's
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Yes. So that's my dark horse. Keith, if you're out there, if you see this at a later time, put terms in, because Crimson Chin can only run at 1,000. But I guess we're gonna wrap up. Is there anything you guys want to say? I do see Soul saying on a scale of 9 to 10, how scared are you?
Dude, I'm honestly so excited to take the crown and give it back to the people and just destroy these tyrants who've been winning for 3 weeks in a row. That it's time freedom came back into town. So that's what I'm looking to bring.
Can we get Zombie on the vote list? Because I don't think you've competed.
No, yeah. Throw me on there. I'll take the crown back off you then, LJ.
I was gonna ask you after this. Can I borrow Zombie Boy? Because I don't have anybody for the 2,400.
Oh wow!
Is that part of the rules, colluding?
I'm not gonna ask.
I love it.
Well, thank you everybody for showing up. We'll be doing the Zed bi-weekly news in a couple 9 o'clock Central Time, which is about an hour and a half from here. We'll probably recap some of this conversation and then just get into other Zed news. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Lucky Jack, for showing up.
Thanks.
Everybody else,
check out the duel tomorrow on Pony Plug, by the way.
Yes,
7 o'clock. I think maybe actually it's 8 o'clock. I think it's 8 o'clock. And it's me and two fools, and it's gonna be a good show. Yeah,
that is Soul's Vanish in the chat. So yes, we'll see you tomorrow. I know I'll be tuned in. See you tomorrow, and everybody have a good night. See you in about another hour and a half for the Zed bi-weekly news.